recording. So yeah, go ahead. They can see you. Talk. She's gonna stand there by the door. Oh, I gotta come here. What's up, baby? Oh. Hey guys, Shelly Jr. here. Right back to the one. What is this? Oh, that's all you have? Why we need to call it in?
Because I have this, and then one more.
Good.
But I'm gonna call
When?
tomorrow.
And I gotta go pick it up.
I'm gonna see if they'll let me call in tomorrow. Because you know, with the other medicine, I can't call in until the 27th.
Oh yeah, I understand that. Okay. Yeah, that's what we gotta work on. Okay. What's up, y'all? We're about to get started in a minute. What up, Anthony? What up? We about to get started in a minute. All right, man. I'm probably gonna make this real quick though. I appreciate people coming in, and make sure y'all hit that notification bell because I mean some people been messaging me, and saying like they haven't, every time I go on live they haven't been really hearing it, so, or getting the notifications through their phone. So what they've been doing is they've been searching on their YouTube homepage. So make sure you hit the bell and get and select all. So every time I go live, you will see it. So now still I'm gonna start doing more premieres. But yeah, man, as you guys can see, man, the title of the video is it's like what I learned in 6 months in marriage and what it's all about to me personally. So I've been married since November 7th last year, and we was married in it's Key Beach. That's in Florida, man, and it was very, very nice. That's actually #1 beach in the country. So it's a beautiful thing. And so what I learned in my 6 months of marriage is that communication. #1, communication is something that's very essential. It's vital in any relationship, your job, profession, anything. Because when you communicate, that involves in talking. That involves in talking. That involves in listening as well. Women and men, but especially women, they love a good listener. So when you listen to them, they like, okay, so at least this man understands what I'm saying, where I'm coming from, even if you disagree with them. Now I'm gonna get into that in a minute, but communication #1 is very important. Say for instance, like if you work a job and you say you start work at 7 o'clock in the morning and you get off around like I'll say 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. Communicate that with your spouse if you don't know your profession, or if you have an emergency meeting or you decide to take up overtime, let them know. Just little things like that. Something, of course, when you're single, all you care, all you concern is you and and yourself, and that's okay, and however your friends. But just notice that even if you think little things that's not important, just communicate that with your spouse. Like, hey, babe, I know usually I come home, I get off work around 6 o'clock, but I have to stay an extra hour to make the shift. So because what I noticed is that we're kind of I want to get more money, then we might be behind on some on this electric bill or this particular bill, or a goal I'm trying to achieve is save a little bit of money to actually get a home. Like, communicate with that. And if you start communicating, regardless if like they agree with you or not, at least it opens the door for you guys to establish a connection. So I think communication should be #1, man. You have to talk, you have to speak. And also too, like when you guys can get into arguments, because that will happen. Arguments, kind of understand where each other is coming from and different, people's perspectives, and just kind of meet in the middle, compromise what I'm trying to get at. So you have to compromise. It could be little things like, okay, well, for Christmas, I'm going to go over my dad's house. No, for Christmas, I thought we agreed we was going to go to my mom's house. And so, now you're looking like, well, I haven't seen my dad in like 2 or 3 years, and I want to reconnect with him and stuff. Like, how about this time we go this Christmas, you go over my dad's house, and next Christmas go over yours, or the next holiday, we or Easter or sometime we can go see your cousins and stuff like that. So you got to kind of balance that out as well. Just kind of get into a mutual understanding when it comes to like family events. When you marry someone, you're marrying not only that person, but you're marrying their culture, you're marrying their family in a way, if that makes sense. I'm not saying be best friends with them. I mean, you can. That I kind of recommend that, but at least understand what your partners who your partner's guardians are, who their influences. Try to get to know their mom, their dad, or their grandparent, or their foster parent, or anyone who grew up who was a major influence in their life. Try to get to know them, take them out to dinner, take little things like that. You actually supposed to be doing that before you marry that person, start courting. But if you in the marriage game, yes, you are sleeping with that person in the bedroom, but at the same time, it's still good to get to know their friends, who influenced them, who taught them certain things. Because at the end of the day, if you decide to have children, even if you biologically can't have children, you can always have that option to adopt children. You're going to have a family in your household. And as a man, a man is supposed to, lead and stuff, and be a provider and things like that, and make decisions. But your woman can make decisions as well. And so the thing is that, if she's influenced by her mom or her dad, and she's acting out a certain way, why is that? Get to the root of things. Like, try to see, like, okay, what can I do to better our situation? If my wife is not good at money, okay, why she's not good at money? Pick up that slack, educate yourself about that. Try to figure out, like, okay, well, I understand that you are an emotional spender, but let's create like a I won't say a gap, like a cap, but let's just say, okay, well, first, let's at least put $100 in our paycheck, and let's set aside some money for play money. But at first, let's at least pay these bills off, and then we can use that money. Like, we can build up at least $1,000, and then in a like a vacation account, and we can use that money to buy clothes. We can use that money to go shopping, to go out to eat, little things like that. Kind of communicate on that sense. When it comes to groceries, I'm being real. Like, groceries, who's is your wife gonna make a grocery list, or are you guys just gonna go to the grocery store whenever you guys are hungry? I mean, what are you guys going? Who's gonna cook? Is you guys gonna cook together? Is your wife gonna cook? Who's gonna do things around the house? Little things like that, like appliances. Getting things together. Making phone calls, appointments. Who's going to be in charge of doing that, or you guys going to do that together? So you gotta, set that stone, set that foundation. Like, okay, babe, well, you're in charge. Since you're good with money, you're going to be in charge with our bills. Okay. Just let me know, when the water bill, light bill is due, how much money that I need to set aside for each and every day of the month so make sure that we pay this type of bill here. I mean, finances is extremely important. So you got to kind of know that, and in a sense, make sure, like, they on the same page with that. When it comes to with things break in the house, who's going to be the maintenance guy? Are you going to fix things, or are you going to pay somebody to fix stuff like that? Like, you gotta figure that out, or it depends what type of, if you're in a suburban area, people know that you have the upkeep, you gotta cut your grass. You gotta, make sure you got water, electric, all that stuff. So, I mean, are you gonna do those things? Are you gonna make sure you're gonna be on top of that, or is your wife gonna do it? Like, so you gotta set the pace on that. If your spouse is not working, okay, so now you're in a situation like, okay, well, are we living below our means, and are we still having fun? I mean, you can have like an apartment that's like, I don't know, $700 of rent, and you bring it home like $2,000 every paychecks for 2 weeks, so you make $4,000 a month. Okay, so you're the only source of income. Now you're like, okay, well, I understand we want to have fun, but the amount of money that I'm making, I'm able to pay my car note, her car note, our rent, our car insurance, little things like that. And also too, I'm gonna set aside a little bit of money for our savings, so we can just have a nest egg and emergency funds. Figure things out like that, and then probably every 2 or 3 months, we might try to do something special, or every other weekend, we might go to the movies, or we can rent dollar DVDs, watch Netflix, find out each other's interests, because when you're in a marriage, you guys are doing things together. That's all it is. It's a partnership and building each other's up. Everybody has weaknesses, everybody has strengths, but are you willing to sacrifice and be with that person for the rest of your life, right? Until death do its part. Because this is what you did to take the vows, right? And just know that sickness is going to happen in the family. Are you going to console that person? Are you emotionally ready? Do you have enough money to go to a funeral? Little things that save, like, your spouse father died and he's in a different state or something. Like, do you have enough funds to actually that set aside to go attend that funeral or emotionally support your wife? Little things like that, man. I'll say pray, 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 pray. I'm telling you, it works. I know it sounds cheesy, but please do that. That helps out so much. Pray before you go to bed. Pray and just, I don't care if you had a bad day, y'all mad at each other, y'all sleeping in the different sides of the bed, y'all pulling covers from each other, like move, pushing each other from the corner of the bed. Pray, before you go to bed. You don't never want to go to bed mad at each other, because you never know, God forbid, so somebody wakes up, they have chest pains or they no longer there anymore. You know what I'm saying? So what up, Killzone? What up, Anthony? But like, yeah, if you have to communicate on that sense, man. Just say, hey, babe, I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry. It's gonna be a lot of apologizing, and then y'all just come together and just improvise and move forward. Use it a motivation that when the sun comes up, it's always gonna do its job. It's a new day. It's a new beginning. Same thing with the moon shines. The moon's they're gonna do their job regardless if you're here or not. And just kind of understand each other's like I said, strengths and where you come from, what type of jobs you guys want to do, or professional careers. Just get into the sense of that, man. I think you're gonna be just fine. And that's what I kind of learned in my 6 months of marriage. I know I'm a rookie, novice in this, I'm still learning. But I say spending time with each other is good, because I know if you work very hard and stuff, you probably want to just go home and just crash. But at the same time, just know that especially if your spouse is not working, you know, like you understand and put in her perspective, in her shoes. She's been at home all day and she's dying to see you. She loves you, and she wants you to at least spend time with her. When you come home from work, I understand you want to take a nap for 2 or 3 hours. It should be nothing wrong with that, but at the same time, communicate with your spouse that, hey, babe, let me take a 2 or 3 hour nap. Just had a long day of work. When I wake up, we can watch a movie together. We can cook together, clean together. We can play board games. We can do little things like that, and we can move forward. Like, at least, like, it depends what kind of woman she is too. That's it's so, I know it's very broad, but I know for my spouse, we love to watch shows together. We love to watch suspense shows, funny shows, drama shows. I love drama shows. And we got a subscription from Hulu. Never had one until I got married. Got a subscription from Hulu, HBO Max. Decide what movie you guys want to see. Little things like that, man. And just balance your time. Time management is key here. When you're in a marriage. But and also too, if you put God first, like when in the Bible, when it says, husbands, love your wives as Christ has loved the church. And I mean, is that, when Christ, he gave his life up for the church, right? When he paid a price for our sins, because he gave his body up and he was able to endure all of that pain, the suffering, so we can experience God's grace, and he can restore humility. Same thing is that you want to lay your life down, for your spouse. If something out of this happens, it's a natural thing that it's nature. Like, somebody had a gun or whatever, you're gonna hurry up and run there and protect her. You ready to get shot than your spouse, because that's a primary spiritual connection. Stingray, cool. What's up, man? Yeah. So I mean, just keep it in essence, man. Understand that, like, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very difficult, especially if you decide to, like, do a career change, or you're trying to go back to school. And I don't have children, so I can't speak on that experience. But if you trying to go back to school and stuff, like, just communicate, like, how many times you're going to be going to school, or how long the semester is. What's your end goal at this? Is it a temporary time? Like, you're trying to go to school, be a lawyer or something. Like, are you already in law school, or you got your bachelor's degree? How long is it going to take? 7 years, 4 years for you? Little things like that. It's doing that. This is going to be a long journey, and you're going to need that support. Can you financially support it? Do you have the financial aid? Is it going to be a financial strain on your family for you paying for school and making sure you're on top of your bills? So a lot of that can go through your mind, and so many things, man. And I know a lot of people probably don't want to do marriage. I mean, the reason why I want to make this video is because I've been seeing a lot of negativity about this, like, oh, don't get married, brothers. Man, listen, man. If I feel like, is this the icing on the cake in life? But it's a beautiful thing, because you're able to do things together, and the benefits of it too is that you get to grow as a human being, man. And you have the ability to create a legacy and bring a family in your home, that which is really key and something that you'll be remembered by. You could be a Roma. You can actually get into different spaces and different business connections because you are married. Little different benefits. Like if you're in the military, you're married, you get a few hundred more dollars or, little things like that, man. You be excused for certain things. It's a key thing, man. When you're married, man. Like I said, I'm still like learning a lot about this. Like I said, I have truly enjoyed this journey here for 6 months. Yeah. I think it's something special that a lot of us should experience. Make sure it's the right person, and do not, that's to repeat, do not marry someone just for sex because you thinking married people just have sex every day. It's not true at all. It's not like the movies. It's not true. I mean, yeah, you have sex a lot, but it's not like every single day. And they don't marry someone just for sex. That's just infatuation and lust, and that only can go get you so far. That's when you get into adultery and cheating. Communicate. You like I said, if you don't want to be with her, you have to talk to her and square those things out. Some people believe in sign up a prenuptial agreement. Me personally, I didn't do that. What's up, BMT? Hey, BMT, I'm glad you came in, bro. I'm glad you came in, bro. I'm gonna put this as an open discussion, man. Anybody will come in. The link is in there. But yeah, man. So some people sign prenuptial agreements. Me personally, I didn't do that. I mean, I understand. I get the political reasons of, if you just in case something happened to the marriage or it doesn't work out, at least someone in mind will be organized. Your assets will be protected. But at the same time, I truly believe it's like, I was blessed by God, my wife and I, and we was able to do things together. And whatever happens, happens, man. At the end of the day, just having the biblical principles. And I noticed that I will get far. We will get far together. We're building each other up. And it can be little things like you don't even have to take it too serious. Like it can be just like, hey, babe, every other weekend we go to the movies, or we're gonna make sure we're gonna go to Florida. We can go see your parents, because especially if they had a great upbringing, even though they're an adult, but they still might love their mom, their dad. They want to go see them. So I just keep that in mind. Is that I really say that marriage has really grown me as a person. And I will say, I would never trade it for the world. And the thing is, I was telling my wife too, is that whatever goals that she has or she wants to achieve, I will sacrifice and do it. Sacrifice my job for it. You know what I'm saying? Like I will invest because I believe in that regardless if we're not together or not, I love her so much that I want her to succeed even without me. And so a lot of brothers, man, BMT, I'm glad you're on here. Before you got on here, I don't know if you heard, but I was telling brothers like, hey man, if I was like, do not marry someone just for sex. If you think married couples just have sex all the time, you already messed
Hang
up.
on, hang on. Let me fix the audio. Let me just fix my audio up real
All
quick.
right.
And just I do apologize about all that.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. Yeah. But yeah, man. So let's get
Can you hear me?
speak up a little bit.
Alright. I'm not sure. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yep, that's perfect. That's perfect, brother.
Okay. So what's the question?
No, I was just telling. I was just making a statement. I was just saying, BMT, like, man, I was telling brothers. I don't know if you heard me, but of course, communication. I talk about all that stuff. That's extremely important. But I was just telling brothers, like, do not. That's the number one reason you're not married is just to have sex with sex. Because at the end of the day, you're not gonna have sex every day. And plus, if you have that mindset, then you're gonna mess up. It's not work out. It's a sacrifice, and it's something that's supposed to take you out of your comfort zone and you growing as a partnership with each other. And I told him that in Christ in the Bible, right? Ephesians says, husbands love your wives like Christ has loved the church, because Christ has gave his life for the church. And so in referencing to that, and God, Jesus Christ, God in the flesh, he actually paid a price for our sins, and he endured all that pain and that suffering so we can have life. It's the same thing as a husband, as we are the king and lead, and we're supposed to provide him provision. We have to do the same thing, lay our life down for our spouses, because at the end of the day, that's the best opportunity to create a legacy, things like that. So you have to change your mindset. You can't be in an immature mindset in a marriage though, because it's not going to work no matter how successful you are in the world.
No, that's very true, and I mean,
Yeah.
congratulations, brother, on making it 6 months.
Yeah.
I know you're counting down to getting to that year,
Yes.
and
We
then
were just
after
talking.
that, then once you get past 7, I encourage you stop counting, stop
Okay.
counting.
Okay.
But um, but literally, and I'm pretty sure you're noticing this. What you thought you knew about the person before you were married is totally different than when you're married. It's a
Mm-hmm.
totally different dynamic. And I think the thing about it is this. Like when it's like people always say, well, there's no point to the marriage because we're doing the same thing. Not no, not you find out you're not doing the same thing.
Right.
Oh my god.
And it can be as far as
Find
like
out you're
routine.
finding huh?
No, I was about to say it can probably. Yeah, I get what you're saying in reference like a routine, same stuff, motions.
Right. But see, it starts to change up because the 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 requirement of how the world and you integrate, like you understand that there's more on your shoulders as a man.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
See, any other time you can just bail out. Boyfriend, girlfriend, oh well
Yeah.
shit, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? How banks look at you, businesses, different
Mm-hmm.
other establishments of the world, how they, you understand this, as I said, marriage is a contractual recognized around the world between a
Mm-hmm.
man and a woman,
Yep.
around the whole world. You know what I'm saying? If you go somewhere, you make the United Nations, you know what I'm saying? Well, who do you want to call? I need to call my wife. They're going to go look for your wife. They're not
Mm.
going to hear you when you say, I want to call my girlfriend. Like, what?
They're
Get
gonna
out of
take you serious. Yeah.
here. Yeah, they want somebody, they want your immediate spouse. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there's power in the name. Like, y'all gotta understand that's the test of time. There's power in the name because literally your name carries on with your lineage. And
Yep.
so as you started to learn, especially y'all, I mean, y'all were going through these hard times. Y'all picked quite of a doozy, but nobody knows. But see, that's the thing about it. That's the thing that's very interesting about a marriage. You never know the situation or the curveball they're gonna throw you in.
Mm.
You never know the curveball. Might one day be a pandemic. Another day might be a hurricane. Another
Man.
day it might be, hey, we got money in the bank and
Yep.
2 tires blown out, and now you got to take care of that. Like,
Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, and I was about to say this too. The funny part is I was talking to the guy that he was replacing my windshield and stuff, and we were just talking and stuff. This was like last year, and he used to be in the Marines for like 2 years or whatever, and he just started working on windshields. But anyway, we were talking, and he was just saying, "Yeah, man, like it was just crazy." Because I was talking about to get married. He was like, "Hey, congrats, man." He's like, "Listen," and he would say the same thing you said, and he said he would never forget when he went to St. Louis with his wife and everything, and he said everything was cool, everything was good, and he said, "Bro." He was like, we got into, I think he said like got into an accident or something like that, something happened with the vehicle, had to get it towed. He was like, man, then he had to spend more money on that. So he was just saying like, yeah, just be prepared for like unexpected things to happen though. But he's like, we ended up still having a good time, but he just said like, you gotta have you yeah, if you're not you don't have the same mind, like a rational person will go crazy. But yeah, that stuff do be happening, bro, unexpectedly. And I was just telling too, BMT, like stuff like you have to communicate too, like with stuff going on in the house, like stuff that need to be fixed, stuff need to be done. Like, do you have the money for it? You know what I'm saying? Or are you gonna fix it yourself? Like little things like that. Can you afford somebody to take care of the upkeep of your house? Who's gonna do those certain things? So is it gonna cut into your funds? Like, do you have the knowledge to do certain things like that? Like it's deep, man. You know.
and see, that's the thing about it, where like there's more to marriage than just I guess sexual access,
Mm-hmm.
or how I hear people talk about going to fold clothes, do the dishes. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, you're talking about all that subservient shit. Listen, bro. whoever's firsthand, whoever's firsthand. Excuse for cursing. I'll try not to curse. Whoever is
Yeah.
whoever's firsthand on deck. That's who does it. Like, I want you to understand. You never want to treat the person like you never want to treat your partner like your second fiddle or
Mhm.
like your subordinate. That's your person that literally has direct. You don't want to be enemies of the person that you're working to build with or sabotage you.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you start doing stuff like that, then this is when you start having a narrative. You got to sleep with one eye open.
Yeah.
And I mean, I thank God that you and I don't have to do that because, yes, at the end of the day, the last decision will fall on you as a man.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I believe me. You talked about different things about protection, communication,
Mhm.
and it's good to have another man to talk about these kind of things with. Uh, the view or the hindsight of how you see the world as a single man versus a marital man is night and day.
Mhm.
I know a lot of people say, "No, we're still men." No, we look at the world quite more differently than everybody else do now, because you have lives that are dependent on you and
Mm.
everything you do,
Yep.
from spending money to how you maneuver to you saying certain things to how you interact with other people. Those things they look at is that so that's how your household get down? Is
Yeah.
that how you represent?
Yeah.
And it weighs heavy. So I mean, these things that these things that happen, like I know, like there's like the vehicles need gas in them.
Mhm.
Kids got to go to school tomorrow. So guess what? I got the vehicle. I drove one vehicle to the gas pump and filled it up with gas, and I got another vehicle right here. That's $120 right there.
Yep. Yeah, and you probably and I'm just saying as a man, you probably like, damn, like I could have used that. I'm trying to get a new video game, but I gotta put gas in it for these kids. And like and I don't have kids, but I know you can speak for experience. That's deep. Like I believe like my marriage, like if my wife wants something, right? And that's the thing too, like especially if your spouse not working, but if she wants like an iPad or she wants, because I bought my wife an iPad, that was over $500 and I could, and I didn't mind doing that because she needed it and she deserved it, and she's on it right now. And my thing is, it's like I could have, like, dang man, I could have bought a PS5 with that money, And the thing is, you can't be selfish too, and that's what I learned too, man. It's all about compromising, and that's gonna go a long way.
And I think that's the thing about it when it comes to doing these type of things. About it's you're going to be making a lot of compromises and you're going to make a
Yeah,
lot of sacrifices.
yeah.
Um, and it's I learned that the hard way. Um, I learned that the hard way, and sometimes it used to hurt. It used to hurt, and I used to be like, "Dang, like I just I just got that dang money. Like what the heck?" And
Mm-hmm.
but my family needed, you know what I'm saying? And so long as I know that they had, after a while, it wasn't so bad. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? It wasn't so bad.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I was like, well, they're good, so I did good. You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes I'll be like, well, shit. I mean, like my kid needs braces coming up. That is $5,000. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I could be like, oh, well, what about you, woman? And I'll be like, well, I'll be like, that she's looking at me. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? The thing about it is, I always tell people be wary of the money financial comparison game.
Yes.
Anybody who's coming in there like, well, I make this amount of money and you do this, so you ain't, so your voice is less than. Y'all gotta
Right.
be very mindful of playing that game. It's a
Oh,
very fickle game.
I was gonna say too, BMT. Like, thing is, what I learned too, especially like in the military, like I had to educate myself about health insurance. Like, I knew a little bit of it, but I know in depth and how important that is. So I had to like learn your medical history of your spouse. That's so important, bro. And I was like, oh, okay, like because her parents, because I'm real close to her parents. Her parents are real cool. So they gave me like her school records, things she did, her medical records, all of that stuff. And I had to read. I didn't read all of it, but I got like a gist of what everything was and what kind of insurance she was, because her parents are not going to be on her insurance anymore. We're married. And what I learned too is that all your bills are together. Everything's together. You start putting things in each other's names. Like for instance, like when I'm in 6 months, like okay, my wife has this type of condition. She needs this type of medication. Let me call, maybe make my a primary care doctor, a primary care provider. You know what I'm saying? Let me call the base. Do you guys, and let's set up an appointment. I had to take off work just to make sure my wife was okay, so she can have daily, not daily, but checkups for the doctors annually. I had to set up dentist appointments. I had to learn how to do those things and take advantage of the stuff that I had. And because when I'm single, I'm looking like, okay, I'll just go whenever the military says to get a doctor checkup before we get deployed or something. I'm like, okay, who cares? But when I have another person, I was like, oh, okay, this is important. Let me start following things. Let me start taking things, like I said, to heart with all of this, like what she really need. And on top of that, too, I remember one time before our TRICARE started kicking in, I was paying for her prescriptions. But then a TRICARE came in and I learned that they supply for us for free, and we get called, we get refills for our medications, all that stuff. I remember I missed some training just to pick up my wife's medication. And I mean, it's, I won't say it sucked. I mean, because I missed some things, I had to get caught up on stuff. But at the same time, I learned that as a man, this is what you were supposed to do. I mean, yeah, they might think like, okay, I mean, he always gone, he always doing stuff, taking off work, but I'm like, I gotta take care of her. At the end of the day, I gotta make sure she's straight. Like I have to do that. I mean, this is the road that I chose at the end of the day. And just learning like just critical thinking skills too. That's important. Just learning about that stuff, name changing, getting a birth certificate, little things like that, man. So, and I was just amazed like how important health insurance is, man. But yeah.
The thing about it is, I think that's the thing about it. A lot of people, they marriage, it's not a bad thing, but it does come with a hefty due responsive responsibilities, and there are the things of watching, like when you sit around, y'all, it's a feeling of when you sit into your kitchen and you're
Mm-hmm.
having a meal with your family. You can say, "Wow, I did that." Like
Yes.
I did that, or it's something of when you put furniture in your home, and you
Mm,
and you start noticing that you go from furniture that you probably had to get from people or family, and there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. To after a while, you start buying your own furniture. You start
Mm-hmm.
actually building and equating. Hold on, hang on. I'm be right back.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, man, and that's what BMT. Be right back, but I'm gonna continue this on and everything. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So when I learned, it's like, yeah, just getting stuff together, man. Getting stuff together. Make sure the medical stuff is good. How were they in school? Like, I think this is information that you should know. Like, even you're engaged to the person, if you hopefully you didn't skip the engagement process. But it's one of those things that is so unique and so important, just knowing like the history of your spouse, man. And do you have enough money and funds for that? Like, are you guys putting your monies together? Are you guys going to create a business together? Does she, if she's willing to stick with you if something happens to you, like if you have some type of medical injury, or you get to a car accident, you're no longer able to perform in bed, your wife wants to, or wants to be with you, or your husband, or whatever. Do they want to be with you? Are they going to hold it down for you? And those are one of the things that's key here. It's just something. It's just something to really understand, and what you can do, and what you can learn and what you can take from. And notice too that you're gonna have different friends, man. I mean, you ain't gonna have as many as your old friends like that. You know, I mean, people going from different pathways. Some people might be jealous. Some people might be like, dang, like you getting married, like that should have been me. You know, you might be able to do like single activities like that. And it's nothing wrong with hanging with single people. Single people are cool, but you know, just gotta understand, like, you know, is it, are they doing the right things? Like, are they going to a church, or are they not, you know, tempting you to want to sleep with someone else? You know, little things like that, man. Because it's gonna be a days at time. It will be rough. It will be rough at times, man. When you're going through things like this, man. But yeah, man. When you're married though, it's something special. I have to say, it really is. I appreciate people coming in the chat. I really do, man. Yeah, this means a lot. This really means a lot to me, man. Just being married, just being a man, and just doing things what I'm supposed to do. You know, as a man. You know, and this is what you have to do. Keeping God first, man. If she's really cool with her friends, you know, kind of understand that and try to involve them in like from our spouse, we do Bible study like the first Monday of the month. And we always do that. We actually reading right now in the book of Acts. Acts is good. It's a really good book. I like it. I love it. It's something that's great. And I think a lot of people will actually enjoy it. You know, and so we started doing that and including each other together on endorsement things. And now with the pandemic, it can be very difficult because people wearing a mask now, and people are really afraid of catching, you know, the disease. Same time though, you know, virtually, you know, you can still, you know, communicate with each other. And this is the power of like technology. You know, that's why I actually love it. You know, it's just something special. So we're gonna share this video, but yeah, for real, man. So we're gonna go for a little break in a minute. Just sharing the video. All right, I'll be back in about a few. See what BMT comes in, but yeah. Yo, BMT. What up, DJ Killzone Jones? Stingray Cool. What up, Anthony? I appreciate people coming in. I've been seeing like every time I go live though, I've been seeing like, you know, new people coming in. I that's something special. I really appreciate that. All right. So yeah, man. Yeah, and that's, you know, that's pretty much, you know, I think that's all I have right for right now. Well, me and my wife, we actually joined the church. Well, we actually in the process of joining the church. We actually got to know our neighbors, and it's something I grew up with too, like just getting to know your neighbors. Someone that was, yeah, and it's cool, like, you know, we should, because we're in the process trying to find other new people to hang out with, and I think that's really cool and that's really great to do. You know, so just hanging out with individuals and seeing where they came from, and they so happen to be married and single. I mean, you know, and don't have any children, so we like, okay, something we can relate to. And they had like a few years on us, and it's a beautiful thing, man. And so just doing new things together, like it can go golfing, it can be so many other things that you can do as a person, you know. as actually even as a couple, man, and just like, are you guys gonna do hobbies, little things that together? And if you ask the average person, like, okay, what do you and your spouse do for fun? Some people might be like, oh shoot, I don't know, like, they just might be kind of like a little bit, confused in a way. So, and you just look at it like, at the end of the day, man, just be yourself. They married you for a reason. It's know that this is something that you should really enjoy deeply, especially when you start to have children and bring them in the mix, because children is a reflection of you now. And now it's just little things like, okay, well, now I gotta help them out, and now they in my shoes, wow, and all that stuff, and I gotta make sure they're educated and they're okay and they can be a productive citizen in society. It can be very difficult, man. Sometimes it's gonna be days that you don't want to do anything. It's gonna be days that you just want to give up and quit on many things, bro. I heard to tell you, never give up, no matter how hard it gets, and just keep pressing on, keep pressing on, keep pressing on, man. I know it's you don't see too much in the media of happy relationships like that and people breaking up left and right, even celebrities, especially during this pandemic. I mean, people are just going at it, going crazy, like so. But at the end of the day, don't let that discourage you. If you really truly love someone, just go ahead and go forward, man. It's 2021, man. I mean, come on, man. Like, you decide who you want to be and what you want to do. You decide. Remember that. You always decide, man. So, just kind of take that in consideration, bro. You decide, man. And yeah, the 6 months of marriage is good. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm not gonna drag it too long. I appreciate brother BMT coming in on here, which is cool, and everything. So, but yeah, but I'm just very thankful to be in this situation here and this presence here. So as I'm still learning, I'm still growing. I'm trying to grow more with my faith in God and stuff like that, man. And it can be as tough, but I'm doing a little bit, at least with the Bible study. Try to do it on Sundays and with different like-minded people. So I think that's a really a key thing. But yeah, man, you guys continue to like, comment, subscribe. Y'all can share this video. I really appreciate everybody coming in on here. If y'all want me to do more relationship talks, I'll go ahead. I can go ahead and do that. that would be kind of excellent. But yeah, man. I'm just proud of where I'm at. So, and even if you think about getting married, just know that the fact that communication is a key thing. Pleasing your spouse in bed is really cool too. Money. Make sure the money situation is good. Educate yourself on their schooling or their medical history. Get to know and have built a great relationship with their parents or their guardians or people that's close to them, because that can influence a lot of their behaviors. And just be willing, like I said, to compromise on a lot of things, man, and have a good level head when things don't go your way. Like, it's going to be a bill, something's going to come up, something that's going to be needed, car maintenance. Like, you'll be surprised, man. Stuff happens, man, all the time. So just make sure y'all keep that in mind, man. I think overall you're going to be just fine. It's not going to be nothing too crazy. So yeah, man, you guys can like, comment, subscribe, share this video. That's all we have to say. I'm out. One second. Oh, I'll be back. Ugh. I didn't get my card back. I gotta go get to the army and get it. Yeah, I know. Oh.